overtimes, 9 shots. Young had 7. Leading the Avalanche. Mellenby with 6. Willie with 5. Leading the Florida Panthers. Niedermeyer. Sakic. Sakic won it. Held in by Lefebvre. Garpenlov spun around. Young moving to the middle. Young the shot. And it went off the glass high over the net. Mellenby trying to clear. Didn't get it out. Sakic held it in. Still held in. Uwe Krupp shot and score! The Colorado Avalanche have won the Stanley!
There's the read by Kemper. He reads there's no shot here for Palat, and he's on his way over.
The net's still empty. Big face-off win by Stamkos. Hedman whipped it. Paul put it right on. Rebound free. Battling for the puck in the corner. 5 seconds to go. Up it comes to the line. Colorado has won the Stanley Cup.
Second, the first to ever get to 200 wins. Some of the records. And now 2-time Super Bowl champion. A final star turn it is for Peyton. And the Denver Broncos have taken Super Bowl 50.
Scoops back to Larry. There it is. 3-pointer. Won't go. Rebound called off Pope. They're not going to foul. The Heat will let it play out. It's over. At last, the long wait is over. After 47 years, the Denver Nuggets can finally call themselves NBA champions.
How's everybody doing on this glorious Monday? This is Crew Talk Sports, brought to you by, guys, Tired Sports Network. Thanks for having us here. Ev, it is Monday, June 9th, 2 days before my birthday. I know you love that. How you doing today, brother?
Doing well, bro. Busy weekend celebrating a birthday of our own. Shout out Nick Milne. We got absolutely annihilated. I was violently hungover on Saturday, but I bounced back, built a crib. Me and the wife worked on the nursery. Good Friday.
I saw the picture. Yep, it looked good. Yeah, we were at Hampy Camper. I got that lemonade thing that you told me. It tasted like straight up moose piss. So thanks for that big ass lemonade recommendation or whatever. Just not very good. Had to stick with the cold hard Coors Lights.
There you go. I like one of those is always good, and then you gotta transition. You gotta pivot. But
yeah, Jordan was ordering us some watermelon shots. It got out of control. You know how that Happy Camper thing is. Great vibe. I heard there's one in Vegas. We're gonna have to check that out come August. Let's get into it. Ev, we have NBA NHL Finals going on. Have you been? I know you had a busy weekend. Doesn't sound like you've been making any coin. Gerald cost me a bag in the UFC. He actually went 5-0, and I went fucking 2-3. So shout out to Gerald, G Money, big dog, with this clean sweep for the boys. Yeah, looks like NHL live right now. My Oilers, who I'm rooting for, are actually losing to the Panthers 4-1. So shout out to Edmonton for not respecting the Wallies, you know. But I'm live betting them plus 2.5, no problem. Catch any NBA or anything?
That's unfortunate. Yeah, no, the NHL game was on at a bar that we were at on Friday. So just unfortunate loss by our Oilers. So hopefully they can bounce back, man. They need to.
Yeah. NBA wise, bro. Looks like finally fucking Pacers lose to OKC. I didn't really watch a lot of that shit either, man. I just cannot watch SGA. I mean, I can't. I'm a hater. Call me what I am. Trillo Bets, hater. It's all good, man. I can't watch it. We got some people in the chat here. Shout out Terry Walker. Derek's on here. Oh, Gerald, Silver Bullets. G Money saying he's got the shades. Gerald 5-0 in the EFC. We see you, bro. We see you. Gerald, also, since you're listening, we know you're a huge OKC fan, by the way. Especially after Wednesday's podcast. He's like, quit saying that. Quit saying that. There's no chance to win any money on OKC, bro. I mean, there's really not. There's always like 7. What are they tomorrow? They play tomorrow. Oh no, they play Wednesday. 5.5-point favorites at the Pacers. You're rooting for Indiana. Can't put any money on it. Dude.
Yeah, of course.
The Rocky fans guy. Yeah, no, that would be Evan. He's a Dodgers fan now, right, Ev? Which you're getting
No.
shredded for, by the way.
I'm absolutely getting shredded, guys. That was just a joke. All right.
Yeah.
Please stop with the death threats. I support the Rockies, unfortunately, but they have just pissed me off to the point where we deserve better, boys. We deserve better. It's just that simple.
Rockies low-key been playing pretty good. And then they played the Mets yesterday and lost 13-5. So I think they got swept by the Mets. We're checking right now. Yeah. They went and got swept by the Mets after their sweep of the Miami Marlins. Hey, man, look, I haven't really been watching it a lot, but the Twins are in trouble, boys. We need some prayers for the Twins. They are fighting, and I don't think they're better than the Detroit Tigers. I know we got some Philly fans on the Tide Sports Network. I'm sure some Rangers fans, Astros, hopefully not. Nobody really likes them, right? Fucking cheaters. Ev, your Dodgers are looking elite. Your Rockies are looking like the worst team historically in baseball's history, if any sporting events history. My Twinkies are in trouble, boys. Pray for my Twins. They need some fucking bats. Look for them to make a trade at the deadline.
Shout out Colin Furby. Bro's shoulders are too small to not have sleeves.
Yeah, shout out to the boy.
Shout out Colin Furby, dude. Holy shit, with the grill of the century. I love it.
Yeah, you love it. You should be hitting the gym, bro. You should be hitting the gym. That's facts. Other than that, Joe or Ev, I don't know if you caught eyes of the Sugar Sean O'Malley. I wanted to get in the UFC real quick. First off, the legacy parlay that I tweeted was just a fucking easy one. It was Kayla Harrison, who literally looked like Shrek, combined with the Hulk. Her traps have traps on her traps. And she basically bullied Juliana Pena. A quick simulation for how that would be. It'd be like skinny armed Evan here fighting a gorilla. It was no chance for Juliana Pena to even win, you know.
Just unnecessary shots.
Yeah,
back to back.
Just ragdolling her, you know. I will say Sugar Sean O'Malley, RIP, bro. He ain't dead, but he's done in the UFC. I mean, look, matchup wise, stylistically, he's always going to have followers, man, but he could not get it figured out. Marab is just levels above, dude. Marab might be like the biggest cash cow in the UFC for me, bro. Every time I bet, you just got to not even think, just put money on Marab, bro. He actually finished him in the second round, I think. It was an earlier finish. I was on the over, fucking stupid too. Other than that, Gerald did end up going 5-0. I went 3-2. Gerald, of course, always just picks all these fucking favorites, right? Your boy lays it out there on some underdogs, and they get fucking subbed out. And I'm tired of this shit, bro. I'm tired of losing these bets.
That's just what you have to do to make money in the UFC.
Terry Walker says D-backs need pitching. They do. And I saw that I think you guys just dropped a pitcher too. He's on IR? I think you had Tommy John. Let me know in the comment what his name was. First off, before we get into NFL, guys, I want to say I'm ripping a live bet for the fucking Tired Sports community here. We are live betting Edmonton Oilers +2.5. Gerald, don't worry about how my favorite did in the chat. I want y'all tailing this with me. If this shit hits, somebody who drops a comment, I'm fucking Venmoing. Edmonton +2.5. All right. Don't worry about how much. We're just going to bet a little bit, a little lunch money, and we're going to pay for somebody's lunch tomorrow if Edmonton wins. Now, I will say they could be getting blown out by 6-1 here in about 4 minutes, but that's just what we're doing out here. Merrill Kelly, I think it was. Yep, he's gone. You guys need pitchers. That's true. We need bats. Let's make a trade. Ed, let's talk NFL breaking news. What do you got for us, dude? Start off with the big news out of Houston. For those Texans fans, this was beautiful. Go ahead, Ed.
Yeah, dude. So Texans are bringing in running back Nick Chubb, man. They agreed to a 1-year deal, $2.5 million. That can be worth up to $5 million. Nice little payday for Chubb. Dude, what does the signing got to do with Joe Mixon's fantasy value, right? I'm scared to take Mixon now. I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't be because it's been a couple years since we've seen Chubb be Nick Chubb. What you thinking about it?
I think that I thought about this. I wrote a note for you guys, and since we're live, I wrote some corny shit down. With the acquisition of Chubb in Houston, it's a real kick in the nuts for Joe Mixon fantasy owners. You like that one there? Right? Chubb, nuts. Is he even draftable, dude? I thought Mixon would have been like his nice little 3rd, 4th round pick, go wide receiver early, end up with Mixon, dude. He's a dog, Oklahoma Sooner boy. But oh yeah, Corbin Burns. Yep. See it. Okay, so yeah, I mean, I don't mind Chubb, but he's gonna depreciate the value of Mixon, man. It's almost like an undraftable thing. It's kind of like the Broncos shit show what we're doing, dude. Sure, you could draft Harvey, but why? I mean, it's just, do you want to play that running back game on your fantasy teams, bro?
I'm probably still pulling the trigger on Mixon. I mean, why not, dude? I mean, it's yet to be seen. I mean, Chubb could be back to his normal self, and that'll totally screw over my fantasy team, which I'm used to. So
Gerald says Nick Chubb, rug, family hug, Lakers in 5. Don't even know what that means. Shout out to Gerald. Colin Furby saying Chubb is washed. This guy is a Kentucky fan, by the way. Don't even know if there's any NFL players from the University of Kentucky ever in the league. Shout out to Colin. What else you got for NFL?
Packers release star cornerback Jair Alexander today. Saw some Broncos fans on Twitter advocating for this move. It just doesn't make sense. Hopefully he doesn't go to the Chargers or the Chiefs.
Yeah, you could totally see him going. He's definitely going to go somewhere, I would say, like, competing for Super Bowl top tier teams. Obviously, Chiefs, the fucking yucky Bills are up in the mix too. I heard that they could use a corner, right? Nah, dude, I love this kid. I loved him at Louisville. But I think he has some like personal problems, like off the field issues or maybe locker room problems. Does he kind of give you that vibe? I don't know. Maybe there's a Packers fan that's in the chat that could leave a comment, but no, dude, on the field, definitely a stud. We're obviously out of the market. I had to let Bonkers Broncos know on Twitter. Shout out Bonkers. He got really upset, said he was going to hit the table. Did you see that? Shout out Bonkers. But yeah, man, I think he's a stud. I think he's a top 10 corner for sure. But obviously, we're set, baby. We are set at corner. I ain't even worried about it. That's why I'm wearing the Bronco polo. Let's go.
Yep, I agree. This one, though, might work for the Broncos. The Bengals are releasing veteran linebacker Jermaine Pratt. Pratt ranked in the top 10 in the NFL last season in tackles and was a team captain. Sean Payton loves his team captains.
Yeah. Dude, I just do not understand what the fuck the Bengals are doing over there, dude. They just refuse to put out a defensive team that's going to be competing. Like this defense for the Bengals. Sorry, Bengals fans out there, man. What the hell are y'all even doing, dude? Hendrickson, is this why they're doing it? Thinking like, if I'm the Bengals GM, I'm like, fuck, dude, we got to let go of this guy in order to afford Hendrickson, which obviously I think that they're going to need him. But I don't know if the Broncos are players here, dude. I think this guy could get a few bucks in his pocket from the contract, a lot of guaranteed money too initially. So, and I don't mind our linebackers. I don't mind it. I mean, we signed Greenlaw. It's like, if we didn't sign Greenlaw, I'd be all fucking over this. Singleton, shout out to Chaunch. He's coming back next year. So,
it's just a lot of unknown. It's a lot of unknown there in that room, right? Because, I mean, they're moving Drew Sanders inside, right? So, is he going to be good? Is he going to be worth a shit? I don't know. It's yet to be seen.
This is what I've been calling. Shout out Dante, the little NASCAR guy. Betting over in the Bengals. I called that about fucking 3 months ago, dude. It's a for sure lock.
Yeah, you want to get as many Bengals offensive pieces as well in fantasy because it will be the gift that keeps on giving.
So if Hendrickson doesn't come back, can we officially just pour one out for the Bengals defense and say that it's going to be the worst defense of all time?
Dude, I poured one out months ago. It's over.
Yeah.
It's over. It's going to be so bad.
Who was the guy that retired? The other defensive lineman kind of retired early on him. They're done. But they got Joey Burt, and he could definitely take over games. That over is going to be a lock. What else? Anything else? Oh, yeah, I did see. Go ahead. You probably got one more.
Yeah, just that Adam Sandler says he's going to cast Derrick Henry in a movie if he runs for 2,000 yards. Would love to see Derrick Henry truck the shit out of David Spade or Rob Schneider.
So what is that? Is that going to be a grown-up 7 or is that going to be longest yard 2?
I don't know. Longest yard would be dope. But we'll see. Yet to be seen. Are you pulling the trigger on Henry in the second round?
No, I'm not. Dude, I'm telling you, I'm staying away from that shit show because, dude, Lamar just takes too many touchdowns. It makes me nervous. Although last year he was a fucking wagon and everybody who didn't draft him in the second round is stupid, What's up with the Dobbins thing to Denver? Let us know in the chat. Did he leave? Now, here's something, too. I want people to remember how we got Evan Ingram. Remember, we were like, Evan Ingram's in town, boom, 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 boom. And then I think he went to LA, right? And visited with the Chargers and then came back and said, yep, I'm signing for Denver. So don't think that it's completely over for Dobbins to Denver. I'm not a big fan of it. I know a lot of people are. I think there's somebody called like Pierce is available, Damian Pierce. Why not? It's just that running back room, man. It's just scary. You can't make it that much better, dude, with just fucking, one-legged Dobbins, bro. I'm sorry. He's not the Ohio State kid he used to be.
I just think the combination of, Harvey, Dobbins, Estime is better than Harvey, Estime, McLaughlin. So that's where I'm at. I wouldn't mind it. Seems like the money might be a little bit too much since he had left without a deal. But we will see. We will see. If Dobbins comes in, dude, he's going to be a stud. I'm telling you, he's a stud. He's still got some ball left in him.
We will see. Looks like Terry Walker's letting us know Dobbins to Cleveland or Green Bay, which I will say on the fantasy perspective here, my boy Ford up in Cleveland was low-key a little bit of a wagon for like the first 4 games last year and then totally just took a Cleveland Brown shit on me. So that dude's on the all draft. He's on the never draftable again. A couple people got onto the never draftable list of last year. For you, it was definitely Kyler Murray. We were talking – I don't know if you caught the pod on Friday, dude. I was re-listening to it over the weekend, and I told Gerald, you had to make a playoff push, so you decided last year, and this could be the funniest story you've ever told me. You decided last year, you know what? I got to make a deep playoff run here. I got to trade for Kyler Murray and fucking Marvin Harrison Jr., bro. And how did that work?
No, so I already had Kyler Murray. I was going through the ups and downs. That's like 2 points 1 week, 30 points the next. And I was not playing them on the right weeks. Like I just was not doing it. So I was like, Marvin Harrison, he could catch fire. He could be the game changer for me. He was not the game changer for me. It was a total disaster. And yes, I am out on Kyler Murray. Anybody watching, please do not draft Kyler Murray. Don't do it. Not even if you're a Cardinals fan. You will be upset.
Yeah. I mean, what about a McBride Murray stack? That's a little bit better, but they're still messing around on the Kyler Murray experience, bro. New vamped offense. They're saying they really like what they're doing over there. McBride's pumped. They're actually running plays that involve motion and shit, play action pass. I saw he's like 30% more accurate on the run, but then I was like, isn't fucking everybody after a play action pass a little bit easier targets down the field?
He's just running around back there. No, dude, I'm not doing it, dude.
Homie just plays Call of Duty. Where are we drafting Bucky Irvin?
Oh, he's a second round pick, Terry. I would say probably into the second round, middle of the second. I wouldn't even be mad.
This is why this will be easy. Our fantasy league will be easy because he'll be gone.
Yeah, Bucky's going off. That offense is going to be humming again. You got the Zen God.
God.
All in on Bucky Irving.
We love Baker. Evans. Dude, give me them all, bro. I want all of the Bucks. Let's see here. Colin, I don't know why you would draft someone smaller than Dom. Who's he talking about? J.K. Dobbins? Because I am a pretty fucking fit motherfucker, I will say. Ev, let's kick over to fantasy football. I think that's it for NFL. Let us know. But let's kick over to fantasy football here. So we've been always doing these different segments for you guys. Let us know too in the chat, man, what you guys are thinking. If you guys want to know about like what we think about this. We're obviously a Denver-based podcast, man, but we really fucking strive ourselves in, fucking all of the news, every fucking, sport. I mean, obviously Trillo Bets is like a degen gambler, Ev. I think that's safe to say. So if something's happened on the sports world, let us know, even if it's in your area. We just do not talk that Raider nonsense. So do not bring that shit up to us. And yes, Ashton Genty might be the fucking lock of the year for fantasy. Ev, let's hit off some sleepers tonight. I feel like we'll fucking Rochambeau this. I'll go, you go, I go. What are you thinking?
Yeah, so I got 3 sleepers for you, bro. So
okay,
I don't know how many you can.
I have 3. Gerald letting us know. Keeping Neighbors losing first round pick. Gerald taking the poll. That was on the Twitter, by the way. The poll. Think Neighbors was the right decision there. Maybe that first round pick. All right, I'll start it off, Ev. You're gonna fucking hate this one, but I'm gonna tell you why. All right. I love weak divisions, bro, especially in fantasy. And you kind of need a team that's going to compete for the playoffs, to be honest with yourselves. I like to do crazy sleepers with athletic quarterbacks for good value. Anthony Richardson is dropping significantly. Hear me out. Hear me out.
Fucking dare,
He's
dude.
gonna be in shape, bro, because the Colts are like, bro, you cannot just tap your helmet. You're not a fucking wide receiver. Get your ass back in there. Dude, the guy put up some good numbers last year, when healthy. Obviously, the shoulder thing is kind of an issue. He's sidelined right now with the shoulder injury. But, man, I just think that this guy's 20 points a game minimum. Doesn't even matter the fucking score, dude. Give me the Jags twice. Give me the Titans twice. You know, I love me some Anthony Richardson. Dude, you're looking at a 7th-round pick for a quarterback that could eventually finish top 5, bro. I mean, what's wrong with that? Fantasy-wise.
Everything's wrong with that. That is the worst quarterback room in the NFL, up there with the Saints. So, no. The Browns, I mean, they got to have something there, right? There's like 6 of those motherfuckers over there. But no, that is the grossest sleeper I've ever heard. I will be out on Anthony Richardson because Daniel Jones is going to win that job. They're probably going to be one of the worst teams in the league, and they're going to go get Arch Manning. So that's probably what's going to happen.
It could. It was a risky one, but I love Anthony Richardson there, dude. The guy's fucking 6'7", 270 pounds. I mean, let's go.
Yeah.
Dom, he can't throw. He's not starting more than half the season. Dante, you can't throw, bud.
Real quick, Terry asked, do we want Rachaad White?
As like a Bronco fan? Yeah. Or as a fantasy guy? I'm more on the Bucky ride, but I'd take a little Rachaad White.
He might be a good handcuff, right? If he falls, if the price is right.
Yeah, price is right. I think so. Could do that.
All right, my first sleeper, I'm going Hunter Henry, tight end.
Come on.
Tight end, New England Patriots. Last year, 674 yards, man, in an offense that was completely inept. Looks like they got their quarterback of the future. What's the best way to find success for a young quarterback, Dom? A good running game. They got that locked up. Ramondre Stevenson and Travion Henderson. That's just going to be nice. And, dude, just a reliable tight end, bro. It's a young quarterback's best friend, man. Big target in the end zone. This guy's going at the end of all fantasy drafts. You might not even have to draft him. So look out for Hunter Henry. If you get to the end of your draft, you're like, fuck, I need a tight end. He could be good this year.
Don't like it. Hunter Henry, dude. I just don't understand why you're trying to hit me with some tight end sleeper shit when I'm telling you who I'm drafting. Fry me. All day, man. All day long. Day long, baby.
You're drafting Patty Fry.
Yeah,
I like it.
I like it. The Muth, bro. The Muth is a fucking stud. Colorado sports fan 178. Richardson can't beat out Daniel Jones. Then obviously I look like a clown, and Evan will repost the video 900 times on our Twitter. That's what we do out here. Ev, all right, I got one here. You don't even know who this guy is, and I saw this kid tear it up at Iowa State. Jaden Higgins. Now, average draft position, you know, I know how you love those numbers. 56. Obviously, it's way too early to be doing mock drafts, but this kid was a stud at Iowa State. Obviously, the Texans are going to have one of the most, like, I would say, talented offenses, dude. I love this division for fantasy because it's so fucking horrible, man. We got Colts. We got fucking Titans. We got, obviously, the Texans. And we got the shitty Jags, man. And, dude, I heard Tank Dell's likely out for the entire 2025 season. Love me some Tank Dell. But, dude, this guy's slipping in wide receiver too here. Nico Collins is a fucking problem too, which I think will help him. You know, it's kind of like that conundrum of like Dallas with CeeDee Lamb. You know, they got your boy Pickens now for your squad. I really like Jaden Higgins. This guy's got like great potential to be a rookie of the year candidate. You know, what do you think about Jaden Higgins, wide receiver 2 from Texans, for some wide receiver 3 upside?
I like that. I like that pick. I like the upside. I think so. My next pick, real quick, we'll just dive into that. I'm picking Christian Kirk, dude. All right. So I had this guy last year. He got hurt, broken collarbone. You can get this guy in the 6th round. I'm talking about snagging Kirk as your wide receiver 3, wide receiver 4, kind of your flex play. He's a PPR demon when he gets going. I think CJ Stroud's going to be or have a bounce back year this year. He just has to. So that does good for Jaden Higgins. And that also works out for Christian Kirk. I just think where you're drafting these guys, they're too much of a value not to take a flyer on them, right? So in on Jaden Higgins and in on Christian Kirk.
Yeah, I think we like that. We like that little Texans wide receiver room, dude. Would you take Nico Collins sitting at 10? Let's just say hypothetically we're in a first round, with 10 picks.
Yeah, I absolutely would. If I'm at the back half of the first round, that's one player that I'm targeting most. He's just a stud. We've seen him do it. I know there's some injury risk there, but I mean, come on, dude, it's the NFL. So big on Nico Collins. I think he's going to have another monster year. The biggest thing is who to pair him with coming back in the second. Is it Christian McCaffrey?
No, that's yucky. I was going to say Isaac, what the hell is his name? Their backup running back. They got rid of Mason Garendo. That if you do take the McCaffrey path, which is the road less traveled because it's so fucking risky, but it could be very rewarding. You got to get him as a handcuff at the later ends. But, I was thinking about throwing him in there, but dude, I'm not doing a sleeper as a fucking handcuff. I'm talking dogs. If you guys don't draft this person here, you're going to regret it. And I know it's a Carolina Panther, dude, and I'm really sorry. Xavier Legette, bro, the guy who just straight up rides horses all day long. He's like Jokic, bro. Look, this guy had the most targets last year, 84. They obviously bringing in McMillan, but I think that that's going to help this kid. They use Xavier Legette with like a lot of different little random plays too. I love that. I think he'll get closer to 100 targets this year. Obviously, Bryce Young got better at the later end of the year. I'm looking for that momentum to carry forward. What were they doing at the later ends of the year? Getting my boy Legette involved. Again, weak division. I'm okay with that. Tampa's defense isn't that good. You got the Saints, who obviously are the worst team in the history of the football NFL. Gerald saying, forget about it. Yeah, no, man. Legette's going to be nice. McMillan's going to help free him up, dude. I think you can get this guy in the later round, but I think wide receiver 3 here. Wouldn't mind this guy on the bench just in case one of my big dog receivers go down. Feel comfortable with Legette in there.
I think he's kind of right up there with like maybe like a Keon Coleman, right? He has potential to be, possibly a league winner if you hit, or it could be here's 6 to 9 points every week. So I don't mind it. I don't mind taking a flyer. You're probably taking him pretty late, so it's not gonna really hurt at all, dude. I don't really blame you on that one.
Yep. Bryce isn't as bad as people think, Dante's saying. Panthers will be down and throwing a lot, a.k.a. Legette must draft. Gerald Lay, forget about it.
That's also why I kind of like Tedero and McMillan. If he's as great as everybody's saying he is,
I think he'll be way gone though, bro. You'll be looking at like late 2, early 3 for him, dude. Maybe.
No, I think like maybe 4th, 5th round probably, but yeah, that's kind of high.
I'd be all over that.
Might be nice. I mean, we saw old ass fucking Adam Thielen producing that offense, right? And he was getting like 10 receptions a game. So it's there, dude. It's there. Like Dante said, they're gonna be bad. They're gonna be throwing. So definitely snag a piece from that offense for sure.
I think Carolina will be better, man. I think Carolina will be better than people think, dude. You gotta understand, man. The fucking Saints are so bad. They don't even want to win. Look at the quarterbacks, dude. I mean, that's 2 easy dubs right there.
But you also think Richardson could play quarterback in the NFL. So
the Falcons, bro. The Falcons. Shout out to where's Dante at? Shout out to Dante's brother Gino, big Falcons guy. Come on, Carolina's gonna compete with them. I'm not worried about that. I was gonna say, dude, my other sleeper, real quick. Unless you got one, and then I'll throw you one more back.
Yeah, my last one, Jordan Mason, running back, Minnesota Vikings. I think this guy sees the field this year. Aaron Jones, he's always battling injuries. Mason, when he was the starter for San Francisco, the first 7 games, man, averaged 95.3 yards rushing, 5.2 yards a carry, dude. This guy knows how to tilt the rock. I think Kevin O'Connell's system is just kind of like you could plug and play these guys. So I like Mason a little later. You might have to take him in like the 6th, 7th, 8th round, probably. And so it might be a bit of a reach, but I think this guy sees the field, and I think he helps out your team this year.
Not bad. Not bad. They got Aaron Jones up there still, bud.
Yeah, who's always hurt.
You're always hurt. Let's see what we got here. Fantasy football question. We love these guys. Okay, so Emeka to the Bucks. Which fantasy player will benefit more, Emeka or Baker Mayfield for having another weapon? Okay, so obviously I'm high, dude. Huge, super duper high on Baker Mayfield. This Tampa offense is going to be competing with the Bengals for the #1 offense in the league. Dude, give me. I would say Baker, man, because The problem is fucking Mike Evans is such a touchdown fucking hog, and like, I don't know. Yeah,
I mean,
I'd probably lean Baker there. A Baker Evans stack could be fucking really, really dangerous this year in fantasy, man. And you're not riding on Evans, dude, but I love him. And your name's Ed.
Yeah. I mean, you got Godwin coming back. You got Kate Otten over there, who's been another target for Baker. And I think when I'm going into drafts this year, the two players I'm looking at are Baker and Bucky. And then if Evans or Godwin happens to fall into my lap, then I'll pull the trigger. It just worries me, man. The age worries me, but I still think that offense is going to be great. So yeah, I'm all in on Baker too.
Yep, we love Baker on this channel, boys, because he's throwing in Zins. Yeah,
Zingard.
Yep, Zingard. We got Derek coming in. Blue for Cowboys will be the starter by week 5. Sleeper running back, dude. No offense, Derek. Not touching the Cowboys running back room with the 10-foot pole, dude. Can't do it. Won't do it. You guys got Javonte Williams, Miles Sanders, Evans' fucking cousin. I just can't even watch that offense. Plus, they throw 90 times a game. I do like Jaden Blue. I wanted him to come to Denver and join the orange and blue, but obviously we chose it with different path. So
yeah, no, I mean, obviously, to Derek's point, that would be nice. Because I do not believe in Miles Sanders, and we just, as Bronco fans, had to sit back and watch Javonte Williams and his 3.2 yards to carry. So no, thank you.
My dad told me this one time. Oh, Colin, Cowboys are dead. That's his squad. My dad told me this, bro, and I'll always remember it. And I think he said it about somebody, dude, but it's so Javonte Williams. Javonte Williams is really good when you need 2 yards. If you need 2 yards, he'll get you 3. You need 5, he'll get you 3. And that's Javonte Williams, bro. I would say, dude, who is more frustrating as a Bronco running back? Just a random question here. Melvin fumble the fucking ball, Gordon, or Javonte Williams? You got to say Melvin, dude. There's games where he lost the games for us, bro.
Oh, yeah. No, that was very bad. And he was taking snaps away from Phillip Lindsay, who was probably the last great running back that we had. So, nope, out on Melvin Gordon. Yeah, hopefully.
Williams. Gerald fucking hates Williams, too. God, dude, we're not a hating podcast, I swear. We're funny. We're good guys.
I will say Javonte Williams might be worth a dart throw. You never know. Okay, so just put that in your back pocket. If it doesn't work out, please don't send me death threats. All right.
I remember, how like in the NFL, some coaches will be like, "Hey, the guy fumbled. We got to get him back out there. Let him run it. Just get his confidence back up, bro." One time, Melvin Gordon fumbled on the goal line. Then the other team scored, and then they were like, "All right, get him back out there. Get him." And he fumbled it again, bro. Like 2 straight snaps, fumbled. Then he sits on the bench and he's just like,
"You just can't." You just can't make it up. You can't make it up.
And then did he win a ring in Kansas City? Because he went and he didn't.
I think he was on their practice squad. I think when they went to the Super Bowl. Yeah, he sucks. He's the worst.
We got a hot take here. Derek wants to know. Let's see here. Let me pull this shit up. Hot take: Dak finishes top 3 MVP voting, and Mika wins Defensive Player of the Year. Lamb Pickens finished. Is this guy a Cowboys fan?
Oh yeah, Derek. Absolutely.
I'm just kidding.
God bless him. Hopefully, if that were to happen, the Cowboys are Super Bowl champions. So,
no, I think Dak finishes top 3 MVP. I don't know. No, I mean, if you got to think MVPs here, Melvin Gordon. I would say, Cowboys. I don't know, Ed. This is your team. You obviously know a lot more about it. Dak, top 3, no way. Josh Allen, Lamar. Joey Burr, I think, is my MVP this year. Just random. They need him to step up. I do like the acquisition of, Pickens. That's going to help him out, but they don't have a run game, and you need a run game. And
what about Scary Terry's take here?
What do you got?
Overall, biggest disappointment running back from the Broncos for me was No-Show Moreno, dude. You didn't like No-Show? Come on, baby.
No-Show to Campo, one of the only rookies I've ever seen hold out. Just a fucking badass guy from Georgia. I love No-Show, man. Remember when that video where he's crying? Dude, and they're like the biggest tears a human being has ever physically cried. Do you remember those fucking things, dude? No-Show was a first-round pick, man. I don't know. I liked him, bro. Remember when he did the army crawl thing for the first down?
Oh, dude. Yeah, that was great.
No-Show was cool. Plus, I think he's on, isn't he on 104.3 The Fan? No, is that? I think him and Philip Lindsay are on there, right?
I don't know. No, I think it's KOA maybe. I don't know.
It's one of those. Yeah, I don't mind no show to Campo, bro. I don't mind him. I thought that team was good. You know, we're talking about shitty Bronco running backs here. Let's not forget about the legend Clinton Portis, dude. I commented, I saw some random video on Instagram, was like, name a random football player that nobody talks. Clinton Portis, bro. Hands down, my favorite like football player, dude, ever. The reason why I fucking loved football. The day that he got traded, dude, I swear to God, I thought my dad was like bullying me, like to be mean. But we got Champ Bailey out of it, you know. But yeah, Broncos have some legendary running backs. Terry Walker, what's he talking about here? Biggest disappointment. Oh, yeah. Fantasy, no show of Marino. Definitely a disappointment. Have the Broncos ever had a first-round fantasy pick, Ev? Had to be like Peyton Manning, but quarterbacks aren't like overall number one pick. Denver Bronco ever?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe DT was one at one point. I don't know.
A number one overall pick, bro?
Oh, number one. No,
yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah,
not.
like I'm talking like Christian McCaffrey.
No.
Oh, Maurice Claret, 100% accurate, dude. The biggest bust, dude. This guy was a problem at Ohio State. Love Maurice Claret, bro. I think he won the national championship there, dude. And then we got him. I think he fucked up, though. He did something like legally, got himself in some trouble, and then we were lucky enough to snag him. But yeah, no, he was definitely like one of the worst picks. I still think the worst pick in Broncos recent history was Jarvis Moss. For those of you who know, defensive end from Florida, just pissed me off. Horrible pick. I got one more sleeper, Ev, if you got a second here. Ricky Pershall, San Francisco. Now,
hate it.
Why, dude? This guy took one to the chest, bro, last year. Did you know that?
Yeah, so we should probably draft him and start him in fantasy then.
He ended up just fucking killing it last year towards the later end, bro. This guy's a badass. He robbed an elderly woman at gunpoint. He sued the NFL to get after his freshman year. Maurice Claret, man, definitely a fucking not a good guy. Not advocating for him. He sued the NFL to get in after his freshman year. Oh, that's right, Maurice Claret. So give me Ricky Pershall, bro. This is like definitely a late round pick. If my bench in fantasy is looking something like Ricky Pershall and Xavier Legette, look for me to make a big move, and trade one of them for a round 2 pick because you guys are requesting them.
I think it's Ricky Pearsall. And
I think you correct me again. I'm gonna drive over to Arvada and take a shit in your stew, and I promise you that. I promise you. I promise you.
So I will, and plus,
where do you go to college?
This guy's already Florida. This guy's already hurt.
I already said that. Yeah.
Okay. This guy's already hurt.
Yeah.
I think it's a hammy, right?
He's a little banged up. He'll get that worked out. Not a problem. So not even worried about it. No, dude. I'm just looking at that San Francisco team. Obviously, they paid Brock Purdy, which we're not a big fan of, but they're gonna need to do something, dude. And I don't really think Ayuk is the man. And obviously, McCaffrey, is he even consistent, dude? No. So, hey, somebody's gonna have to step up. This kid kind of plays that Debo shit that they love. I do love Shanahan, and I'm okay with my late round sleeper being Ricky. Love the Pershall take. Like him over the other 2 Niner wide receivers.
See, yes, that's where I'm kind of like, I don't know, man. I've seen Juwan Jennings do it. I've seen.
Oh yeah, dude. Jennings had like 3 touchdown games, bro.
So he's a PPR monster. I'd probably lean that way a little bit more. You're gonna have to take Juwan Jennings definitely before Pearsall. But I can see the vision. I can see the vision on Pearsall, bro. I can see it.
Yeah. You got any other sleepers? Any honorable mentions?
No, but I will have some more in the future. Keep it locked at Crew Talk Sports.
Next week, guys, we're going to do a mock draft. So we need y'all to come in here and make fun of all of Evan's picks. Evan, are we Rochambeau in the mock draft next week? Or are we, you're going to let me kind of run the reins and you just comment?
No, so we will be doing the mock draft on Sleeper. We can both be drafting. On Sleeper we'll probably do. We can either do 12-team PPR or 10. I know we have a lot of 10-team leagues, so it's up to you.
I think
what does the chat want to see? What does the chat want to see?
Yeah, chat. What do y'all want? They're like,
don't come at me with no 16 team.
No, 4 buddies in a 4-team league.
Yeah,
shout
14
out
leagues.
On TikTok, that motherfucker, dude. What do we got here? Maurice Claret is who do we got? Jamarcus Russell of the running back committee. Dude, I will say Jamarcus Russell, I saw him on TV one time. throw a ball from his knees 100 yards. I've never seen another human being do that. Maybe that's more common, but that's why the Raiders drafted him first. 10 teams. I think 10. Aren't both your leagues 10, Ev? Mine are 10. 12
No,
gets a little
one
fishy.
112. Shout out Ace Abadaka.
Yes, sir.
12 team standard, so no PPR. Then 10 team PPR, and then we will be doing, shout out the Sideline Podcast, we will be doing a league with them. So I think that's 12 team, and I'm not sure if that's PPR or not, but yeah, no,
I think
so 3 leagues.
I think everybody's basically PPR. I think we for sure do a PPR draft. Our league is different because it has 2 flex, and you didn't change the defensive thing. And yeah, 12 is the most. Dude, I've seen a 14-team league, and the poor guy at my work his team was so bad. I was like, there's not even any free agents, dude. Like, you're looking at like moose shit down here, bro.
Well, it's like you're picking 14th in a 14-team league, dude. That's not even fair. You should get like 3 picks right off the bat, like 3 or 4 picks, dude, because it's like you are so screwed by the time that comes back to you.
Oh yeah, dude. Like if you pick first overall, yeah, see you later. Now you're like, okay, I'll take fucking CeeDee Lamb or whatever. Then you're looking back and it's like Brock Purdy, Anthony Richardson, fucking, poo city over there. Yeah, I like 10 team defensive player. Doesn't make sense. I'm not in a defensive player league. I am in Evans league where defenses can score 80 points, right, Ev? Tell them how that works, because that is definitely an interesting strategy. I decided to draft the Browns. I'm going Broncos round 2. If anybody in the league's listening, they'll be gone because I'm not playing that
Broncos,
defense
yeah.
shit.
Broncos round 2. They'll get you 30 a game. You're going to be in good hands.
This is who I usually get, man. I usually get Broncos defense, and for some fucking reason, dude, and I was talking shit about the Falcons, my team always has that coup fool from Atlanta. I don't know why. Just like always get it. You know?
I think I had him at one point last
Nhl Finals or whatever, bro. Just a fucking
great name.
Money. 14 kicks indoors. So you probably didn't even think about that. You need kickers that are always indoors. You know, like the Cowboys kicker is like a fucking beast too. He's gonna try to set a record this year. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't really see any other sleepers. Somebody was saying Calvin Austin. I will say I didn't know who the fuck this was. DJ Giddens from the Colts. Did a little research on him. I just love Anthony Taylor still. Marshawn Lloyd, Packers, running back. I do also really like Brandon Jacobs, though, because that kid's a fucking wagon, and he's done nothing wrong. Jack Beck, Raiders, undraftable. What about this guy, dude? JJ McCarthy from the Vikings? Is he even draftable?
I think so. I mean, he's worth a late round flyer, right? I mean, he's got too many weapons to not find some success, right? So, I mean, we saw your boy Sam Darnold just fucking wreck shop over there. I didn't get your thoughts on old man Balls Rogers and signing with the Steelers, bro.
Oh yeah, that's right. I mean, I felt like it was predictable, right? We kind of knew he was going there. He's just doing this shit where he gets high on Hashawashka or whatever the fuck it is, and he never does OTAs. So I felt like they knew what was going down. They just couldn't report it. I think, Gerald brought this up too, dude. I think this is the last year we'll see Tomlin in Pittsburgh, which will be fucking nuts. But he definitely needs to go somewhere new. I don't know, man. I mean, they're going to pair him up with DK, but not the best running game. The defense is good. They'll stay in games, man. But, I think the Bengals are going to blow them out. I think the Browns are going to play them tougher, and I think the fucking Ravens own that division. So I don't know if the Steelers make the playoffs. I don't think that's enough.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I still think they win 9-10 games, but yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully, hopefully it's good for fantasy with DK. I'll definitely be looking to draft DK for sure. And I like Caleb Johnson. So, and Pat Frymuth.
Pat Frymuth, bro. Him and Young Ho Koo. That's all you need in fantasy. I don't know what the name of the drug is down there, but you guys know exactly what I'm talking about, dude. You guys know exactly what I'm talking about. He goes down to like Puerto Rico or wherever he goes, and he just sits around a campfire, which is fine. But he doesn't do OTAs. It's like a new team, One thing about the JJ McCarthy thing, bro, and you know what? I might have to start agreeing with that guy on Twitter. Did you see that clown from Minnesota that like retweets all of his shit? And he's like, apparently this has been the best OTA in the history of football. This guy has 98 touchdowns and 1 interception. Like total made up bullshit, but I think he's gonna be better than fucking Goofy Darnold was, dude. I mean, I do think that. I don't think Darnold's good. I think Darnold like really cost that team in the later end of the year. JJ McCarthy's a little bit more mobile. That could help him out. Good running game, great coaching, great defense.
What are the odds that all the quarterbacks from last year's draft work out? Right. I mean, we know Jaden Daniels looking like a stud. Caleb Williams yet to be seen. I'm a sneaky high on him in fantasy this year. I think.
What about Big Dick Bo Nix? How's he doing? He's doing.
Oh,
right,
our Lord and Savior Bo Nix. Yeah. No, he's going to be just fine for sure.
Yeah. I think
Michael Penix.
Yeah.
Penix, is he going to be good? So, I mean, dude, not all these quarterbacks are going to work out. There's no fucking way. But
you got to take flyers on rookies, though. What rookie would you say like you would take a flyer on, dude? Because honestly, think about it. If you draft Justin Jefferson, let's say you're sitting at 7-8 in the first round, you grab him. In my head here, one of your later picks needs to be JJ McCarthy, bro. Because if there is a chance that he pops and you could add a stack with fucking Jay Jettas, he's probably like wide receiver 1 or 3, dude. I mean, he's never worse than that when he's healthy. And you have McCarthy, dude. I mean, that could be a sneaky, inexpensive stack, which I think is the way to do it in fantasy these days, dude. You got to stack shit.
I think I'm just gambling on. I'd rather just gamble on Caleb Williams later.
What about Penix? Would you take Penix or McCarthy? Because that's a pretty good little.
Oh, dude, I'd probably. Oh, dude, I don't know. That's gross. I'd probably just have to trust Kevin O'Connell at that point. Trust that offense. I mean, both offenses got great weapons, but I've seen Kevin O'Connell make chicken salad out of chicken shit with Sam Darnold, so I'd probably go McCarthy.
Speaking of fantasy football studs and busts here, man. Kyle Pitts, is he gonna get traded? And what the fuck is wrong with that guy, dude? And have you ever fallen for the Kyle Pitts fantasy thing? Because luckily I haven't, but the dude's just undraftable, bro. He really is.
Yeah, no, it's a damn shame. I think it would be like, I saw some things like, oh, he should go to the Kansas City Chiefs, and that might be interesting, right? I mean, if you had Pat Mahomes throwing him the ball, I might take a flyer on him at that point. It's just, you just can't trust his quarterbacks, man. So, no, I will not be drafting him.
You won't be drafting him. Dude, who was I think the Chiefs had that one tight end last year that was kind of killing Kelsey fantasy football owners. Let me find his ass. You know who I'm talking about? Oh, Noah Gray.
Noah Gray, yeah.
Noah Gray. Yeah, he had 5 touchdowns last year. Could be a little sneaky. Week, yeah, dude, no. Yeah, definitely don't want Pitts to fucking Kansas City, though, because I'm disgusted by that team already. And if they got him and he started playing good, dude, I would really question why I even watched the sport. Let's get a fucking update. Nobody's telling me if the fucking Oilers are winning or not. Thanks a lot, guys. 4-1. We're in Moose Shit City there. Noah Gray. Yep. Evan, we're looking scary here. Should we live bet for more money? You're sick. You're sick in the head, Ev.
Where are we at? How much time is left?
4-1. The third period's about to start.
What are they at? Like plus frigging 20 to 200?
No, we're not doing it. We're just holding on to plus. We're just holding on to plus 2.5. I'm sorry. I love live betting for you guys, but I cannot do it. Your Dodgers are playing. We could live bet them. Ohtani home run banger, probably. Other than that, boys, as we're wrapping up here, we really want to thank Tired Sports Network for grabbing us here. Man, it's really fun doing this live thing. This is our first time doing it. If y'all could drop some, advice, follow us on all of our socials, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter. Obviously, you guys are probably watching them on some of this. So we really appreciate it. We're pretty, active on those platforms. So hit us up, ask some questions, give us some ideas for some segments, man. If you guys want to hop on, let us know. We love taking you guys on. Maybe we can plan something out on like a Wednesday or something. We'll be back next Monday, Ev. So we will be dropping our podcast for y'all tomorrow. If you missed the episode, make sure you guys tune in. And then we'll be dropping Wednesday's podcast too. Crew Talk Sports. Again, thanks to Tired Sports Network for letting us hop on. Ev, you got any closing statements other than one more shitty sleeper that you want us to sleep on?
No, dude. Shout out to Tired Sports, man. This was a lot of fun. Our first live video. Thanks for everybody that was tuning in, talking shit in the comments. That shit was absolutely hilarious. Keep it coming next Monday, man. Keep it locked. We'll be here every Monday. 7 to 8 usually, 7:38 to 8:30.
Mhm.
It might fluctuate a little bit, but yeah, man, come back and hang out with us. Maybe we can get like a mock draft going with all of our boys in the chat. If you feel me.
We're thinking mock draft here. We'll need some advice because Evan definitely is the guy who like has a plan until it falls apart. Then it just shit hits the fan. And he starts drafting fucking Kyler Murray with Marvin Harrison Jr. stacks. All right. Well, yeah, it's been great, guys. It's been real. We will see you guys next week for show. Let us know in the comments. Shout out Gerald for going 5-0. Shout out Derek. Shout out Dustin. We appreciate you guys. We'll see you guys all in the chat. We really appreciate you guys. Thanks again. Other than that, Ev, Crew Talk out.
Later.